family, we have about maybe 50 more seconds. Go ahead and stand up on your feet, stretch a little bit. Let's wake up our praise this morning. Hallelujah. Might as well warm up. You lift up your hands and hallelujah. God, we bless your name. Hallelujah. Yes, Lord. Come on, y'all. Let's count it together as loud as you can if you're excited to be here. A shout. Glory. Come on, just a few more moments. Let's push our praise. Push your praise.
He does. He sends all of that stuff. So today, we welcome you back in the building, Harvest Ministries, where you have myself, Pastor Brian Murphy, Pastor Sidney Vargas, and Pastor Haram Vargas. Give them a great big God bless you. So, I have a question, quick question. How many of you guys have ever studied Nicodemus? And remember, I can barely see anyway. Yeah? How many of you all don't really know too much about Nicodemus? Yeah, I love honesty. Yeah, because guess what? Me either. I always considered him the coward of the group. You know, he should have saved Jesus. Have anybody ever thought about that? He had an opportunity, but he didn't take. Have any of you guys ever had an opportunity to do something for somebody, but you decided not to do it? It's not my business. I'm not going to get in the middle of it. All that good stuff. That's what I thought about Nicodemus. And I'm just going to paint a picture a little bit, and Pastor Brian will come and he'll add a little bit to it, and Pastor Sidney will add a little bit to it. And if you guys were here, you know Pastor Hiram brought it last week. Very, very good. And he'll finish that picture up. But how have you guys ever realized or wanted to understand why Nicodemus went out at night to seek Jesus? And it's a very popular question. If you go on Google, everybody asks that question. Why at night? Why at night? Why at night? So because I thought Nicodemus should have spoke up, I just said, you know, he was scared, coward, all that good stuff that we put on people. Because how many know we can execute somebody and we don't even know the story? However, many of you all been executed and they don't know your story. Okay. So Nicodemus made up in his mind that I'm going to go, but I'm going to go out at night because, you know, it's too much traffic. We'll put it in today's term. It's too many people in the street. But the real reason is Nicodemus really wanted to know about Jesus, because even though he was a man that knew everything, it was one thing he didn't know, and that was Jesus. He didn't know what his purpose was. He didn't know why he was here. He didn't know anything. So he, like I said, was a man of great stature. He was wise. People looked up to him, and he did not want to be seen with what they called a crazy man, a person that performs miracles, but it might be witchcraft. I really don't want to associate myself, because how many of you know Nicodemus has a lot to lose as well? So he goes out in the middle of the night looking for Jesus, and Jesus is always on the best places, top of the roof. I'm afraid of heights. You would have never found me there. Why he looked there, I have no idea, but that's where he was perched, on the top of the roof. And he approaches Jesus, but realized he don't even know what to call him, because he's a heretic. He's crazy, lunatic. There's other things that goes on in his mind, but he ends up calling him Rabbi, which is teacher. Why did he pick that for a person he don't even know anything about? So he approaches Jesus, as my uncle would say, gospel by Justin, sits down with him and says, Rabbi, I think you were sent by God to teach. And it amazes me because his search started trying to find out about Jesus. So how do you know he's a teacher and a rabbi? And have your kids or somebody ever said something to, and you give them that side look like, you don't know what you're really talking about? And I can imagine Jesus saying, now you sought me out, but you really don't know who I am. So how do you give me a teacher or a rabbi? So, Jesus says to Nicodemus, one of the famous quotes, John 3, that in order to, Nicodemus is kind of puzzled, big-headed man, and thinking to make it plain on how we should live. And how big-headed old man to enter back into my mother's womb? Jesus answered and said, in my words, I thought you were a teacher. I am a teacher. Nicodemus says, no, I don't understand. Now, remember, Nicodemus was a person that didn't have to seek out information. He knew it. He had already studied everything. But Jesus is now, I call it trivia, throwing things at him. And he's puzzled. Then he says this, just like Moses lifted up the staff, I also will be lifted up. And if you trust me, and if you have faith in me, you will be saved. Nicodemus, you ever have one of those moments, somebody say something to you, and it's like, oh, okay. Saved. And just like that, conversation is over. Have you ever had a conversation with somebody and it's over? You get in your car, you drive off, and you have that conversation with yourself in the car? What in the world just happened? I don't understand it. Now we have Bluetooth, so people think you're talking on the phone, so you can kind of get away with it. But I can imagine Nicodemus walking home, and trying to figure out, I sought out to find out who Jesus was. And anybody ever been there? You sought out to find something? You was out all day looking for that one, let's do practical, that one Christmas gift that everybody wants. And you all day you search. The song says searched all over, couldn't find nobody. Feel like you've wasted your entire day. He snuck out at night, wasted. Sought out to find Jesus, found him, had a conversation with him, yeah, and left clueless. But then, have you ever had an aha moment where somebody said, it might be the same day, 2 weeks later, they said something to you, and it was like, got it. He's walking home, and he says, I called him a rabbi, I called him a teacher, and he never said he was. But they did say